All right, I want to document what's been happening over here for the last few months concerning a cop, a Marlboro cop. It says he's a sergeant. So the first time I had contact with him, I was driving out to the store, and he pulled me over for not signaling 50 feet before the turn. And he pulled me over in front of the Spanish restaurant, and he said that I signaled at the turn, but I did not signal 50 feet before the turn. So that's why he was pulling me over. And he said that he wanted to warn me that there were break-ins all over the area. And so he wanted to check up and see who I was. And I said, here's my license, I live in the area. And he had another officer with him. I don't know the officer's name. And that was in, I would say, the beginning of March of 2017. In October, they pulled me over again. So this is about 9 months later. And I'm jogging up the street, and I go about a half mile, 3/4 mile up the road, and then I turn around and jog back. And once again, those two officers kind of pull up beside me. Well, actually, they pass me, they turn around, they pull the police car up ahead of me, and then they both get out, and they want to know what I'm doing. And I'm dressed in a sweatsuit, got a sweatshirt, sweatpants on, I'm carrying a water bottle, and they saw me jogging. So I said, I'm just jogging. He said, you have your ID? I said, no, I live right down here. And since I'm not driving, I'm not carrying my wallet. So they asked me a few other questions. And they just say that we're checking people in the area because they're still having break-ins in the area. So this is a very rural street where I live. Not a lot of cars go by. And it's no big deal. But when I go out running, usually on average between 5 or 10 cars will drive up and down the road. And what's funny is that they're always different people. They're not neighbors that I recognize as living in this house or that house. I do know a few of my neighbors and a few people that live on the street, but these cars are always belonging to different people. So oftentimes what these cars will do, and I don't know why they're doing it, but this is what they do. They will accelerate as they're driving past me. And oftentimes I'll be running and I'll hear a car rev, and I'll see the car kind of speeding down this rural dirt road. And it's even a bigger deal when they do that when there's ice or snow on it, because this road ices up pretty good, being a hill, and all the snow and water run off the hill, so it becomes a sheet of ice. So it makes me a little nervous when I have these idiots around me accelerating as they drive past. Me being a regular guy, a courteous guy that doesn't want to cause problems or accidents or anything, if I see a jogger, I'll slow down and kind of go as far as I can around them. But not these people. They try to accelerate, and oftentimes they'll kind of drift where I'm running. So what I do is I often will run backwards to make sure I'm not in danger of being hit. I remember what happened to Stephen King, the writer. He used to go for walks and he was hit. So the last thing I want to do is be hit. I want to have the ability to jump out the way. And a couple of times they were younger kids, and they really made a point to kind of drift toward me while accelerating. And they would all be laughing like it was the funniest thing that they've seen. And once again, this happens a lot when I'm jogging, and they're always different people. So this happened yesterday. Let me check the... This happened again on Tuesday, January 30th of 2018, about 3 or 4 o'clock. So I'm jogging up the road, and a girl with her eyes shut, she looks like her eyes shut, she accelerates right at the hill, and she's flying down the hill. And I just glance over there and I see a person who appeared to be a female with eyes slanted shut, and she's going real fast down an icy hill. So I continue to jog up the street, up the next hill, and then I hear an engine revving behind me, and there's a person with a darker truck, and he's barreling toward me, not making any effort to kind of give me any space. So I turn around and I'm jogging kind of backwards to make sure this guy's not going to hit me. And he decides to pull over and start to roll down his window. And I think that's strange behavior. If I see a jogger, once again, I'm going to slow down and give that jogger space because I don't want to hit someone jogging on the side of the road. And I'm definitely not going to race up to them and then roll down the window like everything is awesome. So what I told the guy was, keep moving, keep going. I don't want to talk to you because I heard him step on the gas. The car was moving kind of fast, especially for conditions, and he did kind of drift toward me. And then he wants to roll down the window for whatever. I don't consider that cool, and I definitely don't want to talk to a person like that. So I said, keep moving. So I jogged back, got changed. I picked up my daughter at basketball practice, and then that night, I drove back home, and a cop, I guess, had left his card in the door. It was dark when I came in, yet I found the card on the floor. So I'm guessing that he put it in the door, and when I opened the door, it fell on the floor. I don't know why a cop would be leaving a personal, well, not a personal, a business cop card with "please call me, thank you" on the back. So I did not call him back, and he came over last night around 6 o'clock, and that is Wednesday the 31st, and he showed up about 6:30. And I did record that interview, and basically you could hear exactly what he said now. How you doing?
Hey, I didn't wake up, did I?
A little bit, sir. How you doing?
Sleep during the day?
What's that?
Do you sleep during the day?
I get up about 3 o'clock in the morning, so I keep a weird schedule. How can I help you?
The reason I stopped by, yesterday, did someone drive by that you were upset with or something?
No, sir. Someone swerved up real close to me, and then they rolled down their window, and I'm from the city.
Okay.
So I just said, please leave me alone. I kind of flagged them on, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know who they were or anything?
No, sir. They just kind of raced up with the truck and surprised me and rolled down the window, and I said, just leave me alone. Just keep on going.
Huh. Do you remember who was like driving or anything, what they looked like?
Yeah, I just jogged up to the top of the hill, so I was a little bit out of breath.
Yeah.
And I didn't really take much notice. It wasn't really a big deal to me. Just kind of like they surprised me by kind of cruising up fast and rolled on the window. So I'm just like, keep it moving, you know?
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
About what time would you say that was? Do you remember?
Let me think. Maybe around 3 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock.
Okay. Okay. Well, I had, you know, someone called and they thought that maybe you had made like a motion like a motion like that towards someone?
Well, I was jogging. Like I said, I didn't make any motions on purpose.
All right, so you don't have any trouble with anyone in the neighborhood, do you?
No, sir. Did that person say that they like to swerve up to people and then start rolling down their window and stuff?
No.
Because that's kind of weird. Like, I would never drive up real quick to a jogger I don't know and roll down the window after...
Are you recording this for some reason?
Yeah, I just have my camera. That's what I do. I'm a documentary filmmaker, so I usually keep the camera rolling.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Cool.
So, just for the record, you don't have any issues with anybody in the neighborhood you know of?
No, sir.
Okay, and you don't believe you made any sort of threatening gestures or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to check in with you and make sure, and if you do have a problem with someone, you can always call us and we can help, you know.
Yes, sir. I might do that in the future if someone wants to do that, because that's kind of like a little bit threatening for that person to do that to me. So I probably should call you if something like that happens again, sir.
You're certainly welcome to call us, but I think, you know, if you can help it, I mean, just not interacting with people at all unless, if you feel like someone's doing something against you, give us a shout, but otherwise, I mean, you know, people going by, they have mentioned that, you know, you'll say something or look like you're making a motion or something like that, which isn't necessarily illegal, but some people are just worried that you're mad at them and they don't know why.
Okay, well, thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Okay.
All right, sir.
If you have any issues, give me a shout.
I will, sir. Thank you very much. All right, bye-bye. But I want to state for the record that this is not a busy road, and for whatever reason, there are many cars always driven by people that I don't know, and they often accelerate when they come near me and kind of drift over to my side of the road. So they're creating problems with me, and then they're trying to call this cop to come over here and bother me. And once again, this is a cop that pulled me over for not signaling 50 feet before the intersection. I signaled about 10 feet before I came to a stop and then turned the direction I was signaling in. And then he pulled me over for jogging down the street. And now he's saying that as I'm jogging, some of these people are saying that I might have made a weird gesture. So my response to that is that if they've seen a weird gesture, maybe it's because a jogger's moving their arms around, or they're trying to cause more problems for me. So I want to document what I'm going to call neighbor harassment. And basically they've done a few things around here to harass me, usually at night. So one day these people started hollering outside. They just started screaming. So I was in the kitchen making dinner, and I looked out the window, and after getting my attention by screaming, they let this balloon go that's in the shape of an animal. It looks like it might be a pig. And the balloon went up and got caught in some trees. And you could hear them screaming a little bit in this video. But I guess they wanted me to see their pig balloon, so they wanted to make sure they had my attention. So I was able to catch them screaming a couple of times. So here's that video. Someone will also walk around here and make owl noises. I guess certain hunters know how to imitate bird sounds using the palm of their hand. They clench both of their hands together and they kind of blow into their hands. And I know how it sounds. It sounds obviously like a person is doing that. So sometimes early in the morning, 1 or 2 in the morning, someone will be walking around imitating owl noises or bird noises. But from my experience here, they're making some noise, and they seem to know when they got your attention. And when you grab your camera and start recording it, they stop making the noise. I don't know if the process is to make some noise, to startle the people, and then go back to being quiet. But that's usually what they do. They also have some sort of sound generator that has sound samples, and they were playing these sound samples late at night. So let me explain this a little bit. The noises that they will make with these sound generators will be like a NASCAR zooming by, or a siren going off, or insect noises, or some weird deep voice talking. So when you hear it, it definitely sounds like it's a sound effects machine. Especially when they're intermittently playing these sounds in combination. But if you go to tell somebody the noises that you're hearing at night, you end up saying siren, cars going by, insect noises, people talking. So it doesn't make much sense unless you experience it or are able to catch it on camera.